Welcome to this episode of the Off Script Podcast. I'm your host, Will May, and I am extremely grateful. I have a really highly talented individual and agent, and honestly, now a mom and a great person on my podcast today. I've been fortunate to know you for almost 6 years now. And so we'll get into all these great numbers and accolades, but Brittney McAllister, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for making time.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. I have to tell you, I met you when I became a leader in this industry, and you got to experience like my early leadership. You got to watch me grow as a leader, and at times you pushed me, and other times you stood up for me. And so I want to say thank you, because you helped me carve a path early in this that I was unsure about, but you helped me through a lot of hard times. So thank you.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Yeah. Now let's get into what you've done. How great you are.
Oh, great. we can skip past that.
This is the part we're going to go into, okay? So, arguably, if you look at stats, you could say you have been or are the top agent over the past 5 years in individual sales, depending on how you look at it, right? But I think we checked numbers here in the past couple years, 76 million sold and 200 units over the past, 2 years and 2 months or 4 months?
Yeah.
So, on average, you guys, that's 85 units a year.
Dang.
That's been pretty much like your standard, right, over the past 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, that's about, or yeah, I guess that's I guess, yeah.
Which is that's a very high ceiling that you do have in order to accomplish what you're doing. Tell me about what your like quick round up to today is. Like, one of the few people I know that's wanted to be a real estate agent since you were young, and then you stepped into it, found success. Tell me your story.
Yes. Okay. Side note: it's really easy to like pop off numbers and be really excited when I'm talking about it, like, oh my gosh, I sold this many houses or that. And then for someone else to like repeat it back to you is really like cool.
Uncomfortable?
Yeah, I feel really uncomfortable. So thanks for that, I guess. Okay, so yes, the like very quick I wanted to be a real estate agent when I grew up. Yes, my mom got her real estate license when I was 11, and I just loved, speaking of like ceiling, I loved that in real estate, initially, just watching her as I was growing up, I loved that there was nobody that was going to tell me that I couldn't have something. If I wanted it, I could work really hard and go have whatever that thing is. So from a very young age, that's what I don't know, wanted, I guess. Now, so this July will be 11 years selling real estate full time. And I do think there's a distinct difference between my first 8 years, which was Brittney pre-mom, and my last almost 3 years next week, which is Brittney post-mom. And so I'm excited about the topic we're like going to get into today, because that's, I don't know, I just think how I run my business is very differently. How I show up with clients is very probably similar. But like how my entire perspective has changed, I think, in the last 3 years. And so all those accolades, like those are cool. I think that gives me confidence when I'm walking into a room, but it doesn't define me anymore. Yeah. And I think before kids, I mean, I was very cutthroat and probably would have done anything to like, I don't know, have all those. And now that I have, maybe that's it too. Now that you have the accolades, it's like, you realize that this is so lame. You realize it wasn't about getting the accolade. It was about like who you became on the way there. Yeah. I think that's super lame to say.
That's why you said, are you soft now? You're not cutthroat anymore? You're just...
I probably am. I am, but like with a little bit of a mom perspective. Like I'll be like really cutthroat, and then I'm like, okay.
They're human.
They might have a bad day, fine. Like it's like a little bit softer, I guess. Yeah. It's not quite as outwardly like impatient and yeah.
Well, even before kids and being a mom, you were already like trying to create leverage in different ways by building a team or having operations staff and building us all out. So this isn't something that just snapped and it worked right away. This is something you had to go through, learn, probably become a better leader, have a different vision each time for how your team kind of like had a different iteration. Yeah. I watched you at one point, you were doing 80 plus units as an individual agent, and then you took on one of the largest builders in Omaha overnight. And it had 80, I think it was like 83 pendings added to your plate in a day. Yeah. And somehow you kept your sanity to the best you can, and continued to grow. And then you built a team inside of that, and then it changed. So like, we're going to be talking a lot today about this idea of creating leverage in a different way, not through other agents.
Cool.
So that's what I want to get into the topic. But first, before we get there, where's your business coming from? What's creating all this momentum that you have?
Yes. Okay. So the biggest bulk of my business that has been pretty much, I guess, probably the last several years is repeat and referral. Okay. So that's repeat, referral, sphere, just the people that we already have worked with or that know us, like us, all those things. So I would say, obviously with any business, initially, I don't know who are your listeners, who's listening? Is it new people, old people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so a little bit of both.
You run these back, you just play these at sales meetings? I'm kidding.
Oh, no.
You're hey,
we
here's
don't,
our...
yeah.
Okay, so I think obviously want to tailor it to whoever's to everyone that's listening, but I would say I think you go through different moments of your career. So at the beginning, it is a hustle. I was so scared. It's 90% of agents fail out in the first 5 years?
Yeah.
Is that?
87.
Okay,
yes.
so I was oh my gosh, I can't, that'd be so embarrassing. Imagine getting your license, telling everyone you're going to sell houses and then you fail out in the first 5 years. No, I could not, I would die, no. So now I'm okay, good thing that didn't happen. And probably nobody would care. You'd move on to the next thing and It is what it is. But 21-year-old Brittney would have been mortified if I didn't make it past that 5-year mark. So I think every stage of your career probably has a different version of hustle. So my first 5 years, it was 2015 to 2020. And if you look at those 5 years, there was, a lot of life things were happening obviously at the same time. I got married, I bought my first house. I was living in my mom's basement when I was first starting out and also going to school full time. So there was just a lot of things happening all at once. But anyway, that is I don't know, you hustle differently, I think, when you first get started because you don't know it. You know people, but you don't really have that track record.
And the trust built with them, right?
Yes. So I can't lean on all these random awards and things hey, I did this, I sold this, I do that. So you show up differently and I don't know, for me it's probably a lot more awkwardly, hi, please help me. Please let me help you. So at the beginning, it was a lot of that. And then, you get some under your belt and then you have reviews and you have things you can lean on. So I'm very, very fortunate that I've been in it this long because now the phone does ring. Mm-hmm. Quick funny story. When I first got licensed, it was the summer of 2015. And 2 weeks later, I started classes at UNO. So I had just transferred home and was going into my senior year of college. And so I passed my real estate test. I'm oh my gosh, this is what I want. This is it. This is what I'm going to do. I got to my first week of college classes at UNO, and every professor, I went up to them at the beginning of class. I introduced myself. I'm a super nerd, front row, pencils, and I introduced myself and I just said, hi, my name's Brittney. I just got my real estate license, and so if my phone rings, I have to answer it because nobody knows that I'm a student. So I'll just have to leave class really quick and I'll be really fast. But I just
front and center too.
Yes, yeah. So I just will have to go answer my phone though because none of my clients know that I'm a student. Side note, I didn't have any clients and whatever. Okay, I genuinely thought that's how it was going to work. I'm a realtor now. My phone will ring.
Phone will go off the hook.
Not once did I leave class because my phone rang. So that was sort of embarrassing. Except that one of my professors introduced me to my husband, or my now husband.
Yeah.
So I guess that worked maybe. It worked for me in the long run. But yeah, never left class because my phone rang. So that funny. That was very humbling, I guess. So yes, mostly referral, repeat, sphere of influence now. And then it's really funny because I would say second half of last year, probably last year, 2025 and 2026, so 10 years into the business, I genuinely got my very first ever, out of the blue, I saw you on social media.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's been 10 years. And now that has started, that's snowballed a little bit. There's moms groups and maybe that's it. I had kids, kids, and then you'll sell more houses. So I'm in all these Facebook groups and different things on social media. I get a lot of referrals from other agents, nationwide, things like that. But yes, my 10 years into the business, I finally got my first hi, I've been following you for a while and you don't know me, but I'd like you to help me.
That's awesome.
And so, yes. And then people are like, oh my gosh, what are you doing on social media? How did you build this whole business on social media? And I'm like, I didn't. Like, I just got my first lead from.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you say that because I know how calculated you are as well.
Yeah.
So when you talk about repeat referrals and bringing in deals out of your database or whatever term people use at this point, right?
Yep.
Do you just, again, is it just like lifestyle? There's a lot of lifestyle agents that are out there. They just kind of like live and then deals come in. They don't know how. Or do you have a very intentional way at which you're communicating with them?
Yes, both.
Both?
I think, so my first ever mentor was my mom, and she is like fly by the seat of her pants. What happens, it happens if it happens. So I think there's still a little bit of that in like naturally that just comes along with it. I think I will, it's sort of like grow where you are. Like I will find business wherever I'm at. Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago next week, when Morgan was in the hospital, that I just worked from the hospital, which of course when we get into leverage too, like, and if you look at who my clients were, then the last 3 years I've had more nursing clients and like, cool. So those are all people I would not have known. And so I do think there's a natural amount of like, wherever you're at, you'll just attract people and you'll talk with them. And so there's some of that, but I also am very like a systems freak. I think systems is like a buzzword now. Whatever you're currently doing is a system. So it's either working or not working. And we have like a 90 touch that we run.
90? Cool.
Yeah. So 90-ish. And every once in a while I'll like think of something and I saw a cute thing online that people are going to send like little eye patches to their clients for Mother's Day. I'm like, let's add that in. I'm sure Liv's like cursing me like, yeah, great idea. But
all these things are whatever's popular too, right?
Yeah. And I don't have a massive database. I think that's important to look at too. Like we have 250 people.
Wow.
And it's pulling 80, 250 like on our newsletter, I guess I should say.
Yeah. I wonder what you have like in your CRM too, right? But like to turn that where you're at it's unprecedented. That's like a very high percentage to pull out of there. So that's, you're doing something really, really well. So you're trying something 1 year. If it works, we keep it. If we don't, like, how does that work, adding stuff in?
Yes, and I've always been very passionate about, like, trying to not chase shiny things. And, like, whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to pick one, and I'm going to get really good at that one thing before I add other stuff in. I would say I'm very disciplined when it comes to that. So this is really funny, too. I was talking to a friend last night about... I don't know. I'm sure other people are like this. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not great at follow-up. Okay. So it might be just now that I've got 100 different things going on at once. I'm juggling all the things. I feel like somewhere along the way with real estate, we've like made it our job to touch base with clients. Not saying don't do this. So I'm like, this is like sort of maybe unprecedented.
Do this later in your career.
Unprecedented advice. Don't do this when you're starting. Do this later. I think it's weird, personally, that if someone says to you in passing, like, hey, I think we're going to like be looking for a bigger house maybe in a couple years, that now somehow it's my responsibility to stay in touch with them over the next 2 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
to own that, right?
Yes.
That responsibility.
I don't even know what I'm having for dinner tonight, truly. Like, I can't be responsible to stay in touch with this person for 2 years. And do they want me to? Like, I don't know. It sort of gives me the same vibe of like, I'm going to need my tire guy to know that I drove over a nail and I'm about to get a flat tire. And he should be checking in with me to make sure that I don't have a flat tire yet.
Right.
Like, that's weird.
It's fair.
If you look at it that way, So, no, and like my doctor doesn't really touch base, make sure I'm doing good. I just reach out if I'm not doing good.
Yeah.
So, sort of with that idea in mind, like, yes, you should follow up. You should be there. You should do all those things very naturally and authentically because you want to do them. And then business shows up. And you're never going to be able to time it, really.
No.
I don't think I've ever called a client and been like, just checking in. And they're like, you know what? I wanted to list my house today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's great news. Like, that just doesn't happen. So anyway, my idea was if we could just stay in touch pretty much throughout the year, all the time.
That's great.
Someone somewhere is going to need something. And then if you're just coming from a place of value, which is even more important, I think, then your clients are not just looking at you as like, hey, you're that one, you can help me when I need to sell. They're like, hey, we had a hailstorm, I need a roofer. Hey, who's your electrician? So you're just giving them, I don't know, things when they need it all the time, not only when they're buying and selling.
Yeah. I think it's really important. I think this isn't the wrong way to do business by any means, but most agents have a natural ceiling that they're going to hit. Usually it's between 10 and 30 deals, somewhere in there. If you just kind of live your life, you can do those deals, right? You'll go to Whole Foods and somebody will know you there. Like just by living your lifestyle, it just becomes a little bit more chaotic, and you can't probably scale to the next level without having some sort of like system in place or specific way at which you're putting these people that you're meeting into some sort of follow-up plan that we call it.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the scaling side of things, right before we go to leverage, you touched on social media a little bit. Do you use that to your advantage a little bit more now that you have, a bigger following, or you've sold more houses and you're a little bit more known? Brittney's, Realtor Brittney is a brand now. This is who you are, or an identity that you have to put on at times, right?
Yeah.
So with social media, is that add on to your database now, or how are you viewing social media as a whole?
Good question. So I don't know. I think, so for me, I got really intentional with my stories. So I am on Instagram, and it's probably been this way for, 3 years. I would say it's probably about 3 years ago-ish. I don't know when stories came out, but I just was like, you know what, I'm going to learn this, and I'm going to be good at this. And I love watching other people's stories. So I also consume, I put content out in the way that I am consuming it. And so back with like attracting clients, I just think there's enough business to go around, and everyone's going to attract the people that they were meant to attract anyway. Yeah. So for me now, it's like I am always watching other people's stories, and so then I am on my story and I put stuff on my story. And so I think that for me was a really natural way to document kind of my day-to-day life as I'm going. Yeah. Someone yesterday I met in person for the first time, and he what did he say? He said something. He's like, "What? Like, how do you do it all? He's like, how do you even have time to be here? Like, all I see is you're doing real estate, you're slinging houses, you're with your kids, you're posting motivational quotes and iced coffee." And I was like, that's like my entire brand at this point is motivational quotes, iced coffee, real estate, and kids. Like, that's it.
That's enough to fill the bucket, right?
Yeah, that's like, those are my four. Yeah, those are my pillars. So anyway, that's where social media, I would say now, I'm using social media as a tool to see what's going on in people's lives, and then doing something about it in real life. So if I see that somebody had a loved one passed away, or I don't know, how do you say, using social media to then go do something in real life versus just liking it.
Or reaching out,
care. Their dog passed away. Care. You do that little, instead I'll also do that, interact with them on social media, of course, but then maybe we'll send a card, hey, we're so sorry for your loss, or send something like that that's a personal touch on top of that. And I think that's just deepened the relationships that we have.
It's really good. And then on the story side of things, when I talked to Garrett, same kind of like a similar sense. You're building trust by doing that because you're consistent with it. So people are seeing what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. That way, when they're with you, they haven't talked to you, but they're like, "Oh, this is just what she does,"
Yes.
These are the things that she does consistently, and you found the 4 things that you continue to talk about. So it's cool because I had that conversation last week, and the parallels are very, very similar. Just different ideas of what you guys are putting out there.
Yeah.
So
that is cool.
That's cool. So one thing we can do with social media, little did you know, you can build trust with your people by being consistent on your day-to-day.
Yes.
That's neat.
And you build trust by being authentic to whoever you are.
Yeah.
So you have to you have to show up as you are showing up, and not every day is great, and I'm very honest about that in my stories. And right before we started recording, we were talking about kids are hard.
Yeah.
Probably at any age, because you don't really know what you're doing. Yep. You're just sort of figuring out the whole time.
Every time it's new. Yeah.
Every time it's new, especially when you're I've got this. Yeah. I've got them down. I thought that a couple weeks ago. I was really feeling good, and then Morgan wanted a banana, and I ripped the banana in half, and that was by far the worst thing that I could have done.
How dare you?
I didn't know. So now we don't rip things in half in our house. We just give everything whole. You're just figuring it out. But that is, people, I don't know, when you're genuine, like people relate to you
Feel
more,
that.
they trust you more, and then they want to work with you. And so I, for example, am not going to show up in heels and like very dressed up because that's not how I feel comfortable. I would feel uncomfortable and therefore probably wouldn't get like the best version of me because I'm only thinking about me. Side note, everyone's only thinking about themselves usually.
Yeah. No, really good.
See? But yes, that's, so anyway, yes, you're only thinking, okay, I think you relate more, and then people want to work with people who they feel comfortable with also.
Yeah.
Especially in real estate, I think people want to work with someone, it's not always the happy, exciting transactions.
Yeah.
And so people don't want to be like judged in whatever the thing is they're doing. And
They want consistency and know that you're going to be there for their best interest in your, again, trustworthy person, right? Let's go into this leverage conversation. I think we've both been excited to get to this.
Let's do it.
Since I talked to you, I think 2 weeks ago, we scheduled this.
yeah.
What the heck is a leveraged agent? I actually think you might be the first person I heard like coin it as like this is what this whole group of people is. But I've been hearing leverage for so many years now in real estate, and it always means something different for somebody else. But like, how do you view that term, leveraged agent, and how you operate?
Okay. This is really funny. I don't even know if I should like disclose this, but at a brokerage I was at previously, they were like giving awards, and the way the awards were going to be given, I was not a team and I was not an individual agent, sort of, because I have like leverage that we're going to talk about. And so then this is really crazy. I was like, you guys should give an award to like, you should have a different category. It's not like a solo agent because that's different. And I'm not a team. So like, but you should give like a leveraged agent award. Like that should be another category. And they were like, yeah, that's genius. I won it that was it. I won the whole time. There was no one else. I was like, and then in hindsight, I'm like, I made them create an entire category for like just for me to win this. That's insane. Like, no, who does that? People before they have kids and realize awards are like,
hey,
I don't know. That's insane. I won, but now it's just stupid, really.
Back to back.
I'm like, you guys, and the really funny thing about awards in real estate is if you like start looking at them, they're pretty much all fake.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a sidebar, but yeah, they're all really fake. I have never been able to sit down with a client and tell them like how excited. Do you know how much I wanted 30 under 30?
Yeah.
Like I would have died for 30 under 30.
Yeah.
And then I got it, and I've never been able to like tell a client how cool that is because they're always just like, "What's my house worth?"
Yeah.
Like
every time.
Am I gonna net anything?
You don't show up at kids pickup and like there's 30 under 30 Brittney.
No one cares.
They don't do that.
And in fact, of course, as God would have it, I won it, and then Morgan was born 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
So like really truly, I had like nothing mattered after that anyway, and I was like, great, that was a really like quick lesson and like, hey, like
wanted to do a whole red carpet rollout for this. Yeah.
So anyway, okay, leverage. So okay, sorry, Lance. Leverage. Leverage means different things to different people. It's probably like a buzzword now. I think leverage just means you're not doing it. Someone else is doing it. So if you have someone that cleans your house, that's leverage. If you have, like, leverage is anything that you're not personally doing, is how I look at it.
But it still gets done.
Still gets done.
Yeah.
So like, yes. And usually you have to compensate that person, probably.
Yep.
So like, yeah, I don't know. That's probably the easiest way, is that it's something that needs to get done, that will get done, how you wanted it to get done. It's just not you personally doing it.
Yep, that's exactly right. And when you look at how teams have been built for so long, you have personality-based teams, which is like, I've been doing this for 20 years. Okay. I'm great at this. You should want to be around me because I'm good at it. And that's really what we just call a mentorship-based team. They're just there to answer questions and help. So very good for new agents. You have a lot of these teams here in Omaha specifically, lead-based teams. I'm going to buy leads. I'm going to sell them to the agents for a split, and I'm going to turn an ROI on that lead, that funnel that I'm paying for.
Okay.
And then you have teams that are systems and structure.
Yes.
All right, this is where, I feel like we've really tried to focus in this area of training and operations and having a large staff. For you, this is essentially the same thing, but for an individual agent to be able to perform at a very high level but still have time.
Yes.
So what's your structure with that when you think about system structure and then how operations and leverage come in?
Yes. Okay. I'm really passionate about all of this. I think it's because my mom, like, watching her kind of fly by the seat of her pants. My mom is like most realtors, I would say. Most agents are relationship driven. Like when they're working with them, they're going to take the very best care of them. But then as soon as the transaction's done, like my mom would be like, I don't know where the sign's at. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know where the sign's at? I'm like, what's the address? She's like, I don't really remember. I'm like, what do you mean you don't remember the address? Or like, where's the lockbox? I couldn't tell you. Like, so.
Gotta buy a new one.
Yeah, she's really good at, and I think realistically, that's a lot of agents. A lot of agents are just not really admin minded.
Yeah.
So as a like certified control freak, I just guess I'm really good at the admin side of things.
Yeah.
So I was really obsessed with making sure that, like, if someone ever asked me something once, like, I thought, okay, maybe that should go back to the beginning. I thought if somebody asked me something first, that was my fault because I didn't like prep them for it, or I didn't tell them about it. I'm sure there's like deep-rooted issues here, but I didn't want them to ask me something, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I should have told them about that. Or like, I don't know, you forgot to tell them to switch the utilities.
Almost taking it personally.
It's a big deal, yes.
Yeah.
And so I always looked at it as every time somebody asks me something, I could make sure this is part of my system so that they don't have to ask. I want them to have the information. I want them to know about it. I want them to feel guided throughout the process before they ever have to ask me about something, which is a little bit crazy. It's fantastic. You could build a whole system about it. Everyone's going to ask you something. That's just how that's how it goes. So yes, I was really intentional about building systems, which is how in the year that we met, I did 81 transactions as a solo agent, because I have like a spreadsheet and I keep track of everything, and I know, like, as from the admin side, kind of where everything's at all the time. And that started when I very first was in real estate. I had 4 transactions one time ever. I had 4 pendings.
At one
First
time
I ever had 4 pendings.
Oh gosh.
And I go to my mom and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I don't know what, I can't keep track of anything. Like, I don't know what's going on, what's happening. And so she like made this like checklist. I don't even know where this came from. Like, it was like sort of what happens if you are buying a house, let's say.
Yep.
And then she printed it and I stapled it to a manila envelope. And I wrote their name on the top, and then I just would like keep notes on it. And I ran that system. Like, I still, like, live, will die. I still run that system. Like, it's not the manila envelope. Now I have like, they're branded folders.
It's like nicer.
Yeah, it's like a branded folder, but inside is all all the things. And so I'm a creature of habit. I have learned a lot of the things I do is stuff I've always done. But now when you let other people into your business, that's where it gets a little clunky, is like they can't read your mind.
Yeah.
So leverage is tough because no one can read your mind.
And when you bring in the right person, they're probably going to be like, why are we doing it this way? And it's just,
yes.
If the answer is it's how I've always done it, and we are unwilling to look at it, we might not be ready to lead, right?
Yeah. So yes, you have to be open-minded. If you can take care of someone long enough and they stay with you long enough, Liv's been with me for 4 years.
That's awesome.
Then they can read your mind.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah. Now she just reads
Now
my
it's
mind.
simple, right?
Yeah. Okay. So systems is important. I think so this is the part that's really hard about building a business, especially in real estate, is that there's 7 million ways. Okay, that's a lot to do something. Every single agent can do something differently. You could even have someone that has the exact same team structure that I have right now and be running it differently. So I think that's hard, because as somebody who is really good at just like checking the boxes, for years I was just like, just tell me what to do, I'll go do it. Just tell me what to do, I'll go do it. And so I did that to a point, and then one day you wake up and you look and you're like, I built this for other people.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't build this for me.
Yep.
So I think it's really important to build something that matches your life. And so for me, leverage, I think now, leverage is building something that is like conducive to the life you want, not the life that you think you should have or that other people want you to have.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I didn't need a big team. When I had a team, I guess in the sense of like real estate team that most people think, it was okay. It was fun. But I wasn't like happy. And so now what I'm doing is offloading things that are taking up time that somebody else can do and do them really well and like have purpose in what they're doing. And I think I didn't realize that either. So like Liv, my director of operations, like her entire role is all things that I used to do by myself, which I thought I was killing it. But now that's it. Liv's whole job is to do all that. Like, we have better events. We've got better client touches. Like, we're doing cooler things when I didn't do it. So there's also like an ego thing of like, we all think we can do it ourselves the very best. So I handed that off to Liv. Of course, all the things she does. The transaction coordination. I love paperwork. Like, I truly love paperwork. And I think that's really crazy. I don't think a lot of, I don't know. And so Liv, okay, so Allie is our virtual assistant, and she does our transaction coordination.
Okay.
So she does all that stuff. She also, every once in a while, she'll post different things, like on the Realtor Brittney account, stuff like that. Fun fact, I've gotten very chill. Like, I think very more chill than I was before. So the other day, Allie was like, you know, I just said, just post it. And Liv's like, what do you mean? I go, just post it. I don't care. It's all good. And she's like, you're not going to post it? I'm like, no, Allie can do it. And her job was like, I go, what is the problem? And she's like, when I first started, I couldn't do anything. Like, I would just send it to you, and then you had to write the caption and post the thing. And like, she was shocked that I was like, see, I'm growing. Look at me. And we shared a laugh. So anyway.
Releasing control.
Yes, I'm releasing the control. I just realized that it's not that important. Like, it is important. It's just not that important that I'm personally doing it.
Yeah.
And so then the last piece was the hardest one, which is the most recent thing I gave off, which was showings. Okay. So we have director of ops, virtual assistant, transaction coordinator, and then showing partner.
Okay, so three. Okay.
And then me. So the showing partner role is, I guess that's like in the title, but showing partner is, Taylor is licensed, she's full-time, and that is her role, is to show all the houses to our clients. And that was a really, really hard one for me, because I still struggle with it, to be honest. Like, I love like being face-to-face with clients, like belly to belly, and like that's where I thrive, is like being in person with people. And so for me, that's like, I think there's a lot of rapport that gets built during the showings and in person. So I've just had to create those moments like differently than I did before. So you have to, you know, I don't know, you're changing. It's like it's growing, but it has to change also. For me, that showing partner role really came out of, it was a need. So when Morgan was born, obviously she was in the hospital. We were in the NICU for 9 months, and I couldn't go do showings.
Wow.
I guess it was more so I didn't want to. I just wanted to be at the hospital with my baby. And then when we came home, she was 24/7 ventilator trach dependent. So we had nursing from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I could not leave my house after 4 p.m. because nobody else was trained to watch. Like Cole, when Cole gets home, he could. But that was also where I learned the power of language.
Yeah.
And before Morgan was born, so that's where like the differentiator between my first 8 years and the last 3 years. The first 8 years of my career, I would say to people, hey, what night works this week for the listing appointment? And they would give me a couple nights. And I did every single listing appointment at night or on a weekend. Every single one. In the last 3 years, I have done less than 5 listing appointments on a night or a weekend. They are all during the day.
That's awesome.
Yes. Thank you. And I'm not like putting my clients out. They're not like, I didn't even know that a lot of my clients work from home or like don't work on Thursdays, or like also the worst time ever, which I wish like somebody could have told me this. Now that I have kids, I understand. The worst time ever to do anything is between 5 and 7.
Oh, yeah.
And every listing appointment, there I was like, hey guys, you want to list your house?
Right,
and they're like, kids are like everywhere, and like dinner's burning and everyone's crying. Like, and I'm just like, here's your house is worth this much. And they're like
sign
sweating.
Here and I'll leave.
Yes. Like that's a good, hey, if you sign this listing appointment, you can put your kids to bed.
Yeah,
like,
I'll leave.
That is just, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And nobody told me.
We're like,
That's a lot of
great,
topics.
always good stuff. Where's that first hire, and do you think it's different for everybody?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's where I was going with that one train of thought.
Gotcha.
10 minutes ago.
Yeah, got you.
I think because everyone runs their businesses differently, I think it's okay to hire something for what you need. Like I didn't necessarily need a transaction coordinator. Like I know they have those, like you can pay like per transaction, or I just didn't really need that right away because my files are like pretty clean, I would say.
Yeah.
So I'm not struggling with paperwork. I didn't need somebody to like make sure you get the wire fraud signed. But there's people that are not, that's not where their brain goes. They just are out making deals. They don't want to do that part. So like they could find someone to do that.
Yep.
It usually is something admin related, just because there's a lot that like encompasses a lot.
And it's dollar producing, right? Like
yes.
It's capable to do that. Whereas sales is you can't put a dollar amount on a sales activity.
Yes. So it's easier, I think, to like group all those things and hire somebody and then be like, hey, here's the things I can give you. If you are someone who has you're like by yourself right now. Mm-hmm. I think what I would do is like a calendar audit. Like for 1 week, just write down, like carry a notebook with you and just write down like every day, where's your time going?
Every hour.
Every hour.
Yep.
Here's what I did. Here's what I did. And then I think it'd be very eye-opening because I think we waste a lot of time just in general. But
I've done that exercise with so many people. The thing is to be honest, right? Like
yes.
I was scrolling Facebook from 12 to 1. Like put it down.
Yeah.
Like that's what you're doing, right?
Yes.
I think that's important. When you would give advice to somebody that's going to create leverage or bring on somebody into their business to help them grow, I think it's important to detail like you're taking stuff off your plate versus you're adding stuff on, right? Like once you add a new position, like I'm going to go get marketing because I'm not doing that now, so then they'll do it and then I'll do more business. Well, now you have to learn everything. You're training. You're having to put together a structure for somebody to learn and grow inside of. Or you're saying like, you figured out, be great for me, and you're going to have retention problems there too, I think. Yeah. So like, how do you view the two of those when giving advice to an agent?
That's a really, really like fantastic thought because... And you also have to be realistic with what the process is going to look like.
Yeah.
So I just told someone this morning, I said, anything that you do in your business or life, it's not permanent. It doesn't have to be permanent. If you choose for it to be, it can be. So like, I think when you're hiring someone, like it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't have to be permanent. So like, I guess with that, understanding that thought first, and then second, like who's training them? Who's following up with them? Like, all those sort of things. And then if you aren't good at the thing that's where I don't know. That's where I just hire something that I'm very walk the walk, talk the talk.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hire somebody that I can train them to do the thing I do. And then it's like I'm going to do it and you're going to watch. And then you're going to do it and I'm going to watch, or we're going to do it together. And then it's all you.
Yep.
And then, so like there is a process I think you have to train them through, or like find someone else to train them if you don't know the thing. But there has to be accountability on both ends. You have to figure out how it's a win-win. And then if it's something, it's like the two examples. If it's something you're not currently doing, you're just hiring someone else to do, it is technically leverage. I just don't.
It's like almost more of a partnership, right?
Yes. Like if you're hiring them to do it, but you didn't get anything off your plate.
Yeah.
Okay. So like that, it's a different kind of leverage because you're probably paying for it, but you didn't remove anything from your plate. If whatever it is going to bring you business, make sure you're like tracking that very like aggressively.
Yep.
Now, if it's something that you hired someone to do to get off of your plate, I think the very important thing is that when you get that, finally they're trained, everything's up and running, now it's off of your plate. What did you fill that time with?
Yep.
Because I see a lot of times where people will hire an admin or hire a showing partner, whatever, hire leverage, quote unquote, and you get it off your plate. And then instead of filling that time with more business, because usually that's the problem is like, hey, I want more business. I'm just so swamped.
Yep.
Okay, well, if you didn't go fill that time to get more business, instead you like were like yapping with whoever or like out, I don't know, at happy hour, or like you were scrolling Facebook. If you fill that time with not income producing things, now you just added an expense but didn't offset it with any income.
Yeah.
So like then you get to a position where people have hired people and then they're like, well, I can't afford them. And then they're like, well, I'm so sorry, I can't afford you.
Yeah.
Well, like you've just altered that person's life.
What do we all do this for, right?
Yeah, it's like that person trusted you to like be in your world and that was their job and they probably loved it and like whatever, and then now they're fired, they have to go find a new job because you didn't. That's like, so as a business owner, as a leader, like that's your responsibility.
Yeah.
Like you should never let someone go because you can't afford them because you didn't go do your job and do lead gen.
Yep. I think there's a really specific type of person.
Yes.
And some of those people that go into those roles will go do what they want to do, and they're like, oh, this is going to work, and it usually isn't sustainable. There's probably some therapy talk here too, but if you're not working and your people are working and you feel guilty about it, probably not all the way right, but at the same time, those are the type of people that have that urgency to want to continue moving forward, right?
Yes.
And they kind of own what's happening. So,
which, side note, I think we talk about leverage, like there's a lot of business leverage. There also can be leverage that's not people. You know, you can have a spreadsheet, that's leverage, better than paper probably,
So true,
you know, things like that. And then there's leverage like home leverage. And I think that's a really big piece that I don't think we talk about, that is, as you're doing your like calendar audit, would alleviate a lot of stress probably. So like somebody coming to clean your house is like really, that's leverage.
Yeah.
And that's an important piece of leverage, because if you walk into your house, like maybe you don't even need an admin. Maybe you just need a house cleaner. Because when you walk home, when you get home and all of your laundry's clean and your house is clean, like, oh my gosh, now you can spend time with your spouse or your kids and then finish that deal you were doing, and you're not like stressed because the house is a mess. Or like somebody, like you could hire someone to cook dinner.
Yeah.
Like, so there's like so many, I think this hit me the other day when someone was like, I think there's like a meme out there that's like, you have the same hours in the day as Beyonce, or like, you have the same 24 hours as Taylor Swift. I'm like,
Lord.
Yeah, but like, they don't do anything for that. Like, what do you mean? Like, it is like time-wise, it's the same 24 hours. Leverage-wise, it's not the same 24 hours.
No, nope.
And I think that like gave me the perspective of like, yeah, they don't do anything themselves.
Yeah, that's very true.
So
the most leveraged people.
Yes.
So one thing also, just before we move on from that point, it's okay to leverage your time back too. It's not always the case that I'm going to have to leverage in order for me to do more business.
True.
There may be certain instances, you know this very well, where I need leverage in my business. I don't necessarily care about growing my income exponentially and scaling at this moment. I might just be in a season of life where I need time back with my family or something of that nature.
Yep.
So it's important to understand that like there's reasons why we leverage, and if you're taking stuff off your plate, that's the true meaning of leverage versus I'm adding on and I'm trying to scale. So two different paths. With your showing assistant role, that's something maybe you will get into pay and how you structure that. But that's been something that a lot of people have struggled with. So we end up, probably shouldn't say this, but paying other agents to show our houses for us. I don't know if we can do that anymore with the rules.
Yes.
But anyways, like how did you view that, and did you get it wrong a few times, or did you get it right first time?
No, I did, and I do think like that's just it. It's a time thing. So at some point you have so many clients that want to go see all these houses, and if you have a family and you have other things going on, I do think there's only one of you and there's only so much time in the day. So and in this market, like Thursday to Sunday, forget it.
Yeah. Like
you're showing the same people, different people, the same houses, like all these different. So no, I did not get it right. Short answer first. I feel like no one does probably. Yeah. Again, I think you have to hire to something that makes sense for you. So like in a pinch, sure. Like if I don't, again, yes, talk to your broker. I don't know all the rules.
There's rules here.
Yeah, there's rules. There's agency. There's things. Don't.
We know it happens,
yeah, don't turn us in. I don't know. Go. Like yes, I think in a pinch, if you're like, listen, I'm at a last minute thing. I need my client to get into that house. My client needs to see that house. Call someone, your friend. They open the door for them. Great. I just think that's not sustainable. At least it wasn't for me, probably long term. Yeah. Especially depending on like who's letting them in. So
and really, how many clients you have, right?
And how many clients you have, right? And they probably have clients. They've got things. So the way that it like evolved for me was that I also think doing it that way, and there's no knock on it because I've done it. I just think doing it that way, you're thinking about you. You're not thinking about your client.
Yeah.
So doing it the showing partner way is actually because I'm thinking about my client. Yes, and me, but mostly my client, because it's an experience thing. So like obviously experience is a big deal. That's how we get repeat clients, and that's how we get referrals and all that. So like if it's a different agent showing up every time to open the door, like they don't. It's trust. You back to trust. Like they don't know who. Like I guess I'm just here looking at this house by myself. I know we joke like we're just there to open the door. Not really. Like there's conversation that happens. There's advice that's given. There's, hey, do you know what this is? Do you know what that is? Like there's conversations that go on. It's from an experience standpoint, they need a licensed agent there to tell them what they're seeing and help them organize their thoughts.
Yep.
Hey, this one, and like, I know you guys just want to point something out. Like, you know, I know in that last kitchen we saw you guys really hated blah, blah, blah. This one's set up the same way.
Yep.
Do you also hate it here, or does this make, you know, whatever? And I think if you are having a different person show them all the houses, they can't connect those dots. And because I know this also from experience, it ends up taking longer to get the buyer under contract.
Yep.
So like if you have the same person and we can, you know, call on the same houses and talk them through that process, they go under contract quicker.
Yep.
Because anyway, yes. So, and then the other piece of the showing partner role, this is more from like the business owner side, is for me, the showing partner role is a standalone role. It's not a stepping stone into XYZ.
This is really good, yeah.
It's not a less than, oh, you're just my showing partner. No, you're my showing partner. We're like this, we're on the same level. It's the same way I never hired an assistant. I don't know. I don't like the word assistant. Like, Liv's my director of operations. Like, she is in charge of all the things. This is not my showing assistant. This is my showing partner. And I think back to language, it's people like grow into the things that we like speak about them.
Yep.
And so like it's all expectation. I tell my clients up front, hey, this is how we work. And I explain the entire situation. This is how my team is laid out. Here's who you're going to talk to. Here's when you're going to talk to them. Here's when you won't talk to them. And like all of that is set up front. So there's no surprises. There's no like, who's this girl? This isn't Brittney.
Yep.
Like none of that is ever happening because they know that I'm right there. And like I am there for the questions. I'm still their main point of contact. I'm just not the one physically opening the door and like going through that. But that's Taylor's job. That's her full-time job.
Yeah.
Taylor's full-time job is showing houses.
Yep. And to make the adjustments and to communicate.
Yes, it's the same, and this is how she would explain it to clients too. Like, we explain it that it's like a doctor and a nurse situation. The nurse comes in and takes your vitals. They make sure they know what they're looking for. They're going to get all the notes to the doctor. Nothing's going to slip through the cracks. But the doctor's not taking your vitals. They're not poking the IV. I would not even trust a doctor to give an IV to my daughter.
Yeah.
And it's not because they don't do that every day.
Yeah.
But the nurses do. Mm-hmm. So like there's different value in each one of us.
Yeah. Cool. A couple of rapid fire questions.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
think I'm 10 times
Okay.
over. No, you're good. Thanks for all the information
Yeah.
too. You don't have to give exacts, but is that a salary commission? Is that a commission only role for you guys?
I've tried a couple different. What works best for me is a salary plus commission.
Salary plus commission.
Yep.
Who schedules showings?
Taylor.
Taylor schedules all of them based on what she's available, and obviously the biggest thing is to be available, but her availability and the client's availability.
Yes.
Do you watch all that happen, or
everything happens in a group chat?
Group chat?
Yes. And more often than not, I'm as like a mama bear protecting Taylor's time sometimes more than she is.
Okay.
So
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she has her own life, right?
Yes.
After a showing happens, or 2 or 3 houses are shown, how does communication get back to you?
So everything lives in that group chat.
Okay.
So, hey, Brittney, here's the ones they liked. Here's the ones they didn't like. Here's the one they liked. They had questions about, and then
So she's recapping the house inside of the group chat with
Yes.
them, and they can be like,
Yes.
"Hey, actually, no, we
Yes.
thought about it," and they can make any adjustments to that. Even it's
Yes.
really good. So it's not a separate conversation that needs to happen, which then takes more time.
Correct. And that's really like the benefit too. I tell them it's like kind of a 2-for-1 situation, because while you guys are both driving home and like, you know, a normal agent's also driving home, I'm already home. I called the agents. I'm building rapport with the listing agent. I know when they blah, blah, blah. I've already got the offer written up. I'm going to call you. We'll get the details. But by the time you get home, you guys can sit down, review the offer, and sign it. Whereas a normal agent still has to go home, make dinner, do all the other things,
Yeah.
and then write the offer. Yeah. It's like speed also.
Who writes the offer?
Me.
You write the offer. Okay. Does Taylor have anything to do with that part of it? It's just.
Nope.
Does she have anything to do, like when she's scheduling showings, do you have anybody like call the agent to see if there's enough offers that's worth showing?
Me.
That would be you?
Yep.
Cool. All right, I think I've drilled you enough at this point. But this is really, like, figuring this out is really important for a lot of people, and I think a lot of agents are in that space where they could probably get some of their time back and grow their business and scale it if they could figure this out and learn how to lead and be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk more about this at the panel, which is going to be great. Now that I have some direction, I'll probably like dive into this even more.
Cool.
I appreciate you sharing it with me.
Yeah.
I feel like I had one more question for you, and where is it at? It was something with showing assistant. Nope, it's gone. Okay.
It's gone forever. I hope this was helpful. I feel like we touched on, I mean, there was a lot of
Yeah.
things.
We're supposed to go into market perspectives and all these different things, but
okay.
we could do
We're out
this
of time.
for another hour and a half.
that's
So
fair.
thanks for making time. I know you're busy with your actual business, leading a team, being a mom, being a wife, doing everything that you're doing. So it's been really cool, Brittney. Thank you for making time, but also being there for me whenever I have questions or just need some advice and stuff.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right, you guys. We'll be back in 2 weeks. 1 week. I don't know. We'll be back.